Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flip Side. My name's Mary.
And my name's Luke.
Today we're going to continue on this journey with the Caped Crusader.
Yeah, so we are now on episode 9 of 10, The Home Stretch is in Sight. And this episode follows on from the dramatic cliffhanger of the last episode where Harvey Dent had a bunch of acid thrown in his face.
Yeah.
And we are introduced to Caped Crusader's version of Two-Face.
Yeah. So we are introduced to Two-Face, obviously, like he just said. I'm just repeating you now because you're so smart. I'm so smart. So it starts 2 weeks after the attack, the acid attack. And we can see, like truly see the effects of the attack, because we are seeing some emotional instability in Harvey, because he's watching TV and then he's like talking to himself, and so many things that you can be like, something's not right here, because he wasn't like this before.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's 2 weeks later, as we've said, he has resigned from the role of district attorney. And he's watching Mayor Jessup on the news introduce the new district attorney. And he's like, and Harvey Dent says, oh, that guy got it. Well done to him. He's a hard worker. He's a smart guy. He'll do a great job. And then he just flips on a dime and punches the TV.
And he does this throughout the episode.
Yeah.
And you can see that it's, I don't know if you feel this way, but it's kind of gets worse.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's the point. It gets to the point where he does kind of beg for help in the end, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, but what we can say, what I would like to say about that is that the violent person isn't, like Big Bad Harv or Two-Face.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's Harvey Dent himself. Harvey Dent is the one full of rage that wants vengeance. Yeah. He's got another personality that is this wounded, meek person that we get several glimpses of throughout the episode. And he is he's the new personality, but he doesn't want to commit violence. He just wants to hide away. Yeah.
And I spoke to you about this when just today, actually. Well, I briefly mentioned it about, is that Big Bad Harv? Would you say that was Big Bad Harv? And you said no, it's not. And then I came to find out in my head, as I tend to do. I like that yes. Big Bad Harv is not there, because again, we've spoken about how characters can be different, and it's not too different, but it's the same character but a different story, and I really like that. Both of these are Harvey, and he can see that. He's very aware of that, and he can tell you that no. Harvey is gonna hurt somebody. Yeah. He is gonna hurt somebody.
Well, that's right. And he doesn't have a name for either of his personalities. Like when he's gonna murder somebody, he says, the other guy might not want to kill you, but I do. And it's in terms of his design, they've actually flipped the scarring, because normally he's got a disfigured left side of his face, but now it's the left side is pristine and the right side is disfigured. And that's kind of has been done to really emphasize the point that the Harvey Dent side is the problematic side.
Let's talk about the GCPD.
Yeah, okay, go on then.
So the reason I want to mention this is you've got this scene where Kamish is talking about, like, it's been 2 weeks and we still have nothing, no suspects. I bring this scene up because after he says that, you have BNF. Having to say something to make it look like they're doing work, when actually they could care less, because what they don't want is for people to know that it was Thorn, to find out it was Thorn, because if it's Thorn's most likely going to give them up.
Yeah, of
because
course.
They've been feeding information to Thorn. And yeah, but what's great is Renee obviously comes in, is like, yeah, this is blah, 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 and she actually is the detective cop.
She's following the logical trail, like, okay, someone's retaliated against him for doing something that he probably should not have done. And Bullock chimes in saying, you know, Harvey Dent was no angel, but he wasn't dirty. And I suppose that is true to a certain extent, and that is kind of why he got injured, because he wouldn't go through with the dirty thing.
Yeah.
You know, dropping that case of the person that had scammed people out of their life savings.
Another thing I'd like to mention, and it's like we're going in sequential order. I mean, we kind of are, because I have notes written down. Is the dinner.
Yes, so
that's very important, because in this dinner, sorry, interrupted you.
Well, I was just going to say that Bruce Wayne turns up at Harvey Dent's apartment and wants to take him out to try and reintroduce him to town. You know, try and normalise his life, get him out of the house, don't leave him there wallowing in his own self-pity, drinking himself stupid. He'd rather take him to a restaurant where they can both drink themselves stupid. Yeah,
and at this restaurant, a very, very, very important part of who Harvey has become is this person who isn't just thinking for one, because there's not just one Harvey anymore, there's two, and you can clearly see that, because everyone at the restaurant, including the people that come up to Harvey, are just being people. They're not calling him, you know, weirdo or anything like that. Yeah. They're not talking about him. Yeah. They're just living their lives. But Harvey is, you know, thinking, oh, these people are calling me a monster and this and that, and they're whispering about me, and they're not doing that.
Yeah. He says he can feel them staring at him. And at the same time, you get a shot that shows everyone in the background. Nobody's looking at him. It's all in his mind. He's thinking the worst. But the people there want the best for him. Two people come up to him and shake his hand and say, oh, it's so good to see you, Harvey. This place hasn't been the same without you. I'm looking forward to seeing you some more when you get back on your feet. Hang in there, champ. And he's, you know, he graciously smiles and goes, yeah, thank you. But as soon as they're gone, Harvey says what he really thinks, like calls them two-faced backstabbers.
Yeah. I really like how they have treated this, because this is PTSD to an extent. I like how they haven't gone like the day after, you know. This is 2 weeks later, two and a bit weeks later now, and you were starting to see it. To us, it's not slowly. Obviously, this has been going on for 2 weeks, but it wasn't just an overnight thing. This has happened over a couple of weeks, and you see in the episode how it is getting worse. And it wasn't just like, oh, this is Harvey and this is Harvey, and I hope I'm making sense.
Yes. So it's not like a pre-existing condition that was made worse by an accident.
Yeah.
He was a regular person, air quote regular, and then
neurotypical.
Neurotypical person. Well, that's debatable as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, he didn't have a pre-existing mental health condition that we're aware of.
Yeah.
But the trauma of having his face burnt off and giving up everything and feeling like everyone was staring at him and mocking him, and it was just too much for him.
Before we get to Harvey's big night out, I want to talk about Alfred, because not just about this episode in particular, is Alfred chimes in. And what's different from this show to other shows is in the other shows, when Alfred would chime in, Bruce would be like, yeah. Where this one, Alfred is put in his place many times, and in this one, you feel like this particular episode, you feel that kind of like heart to your stomach thing, where it's like, oh, this is your friend, this is your confidant, like this is your pal, like he's only trying to help you.
He was kind of scolding Batman, saying, look, you pushed Harvey before he was ready, and now he's snapped. And Batman's response to this is, my coffee is cold.
Yeah.
And hands it to him.
And you feel that. And this is kind of the one big one that you're just like, well, shit. This isn't going to be the Alfred that we have known. And that's good. Because that emotional reaction that I got when I saw this scene, I felt like I had been missing that. And it was nice to actually have it's nice to have a different Alfred.
Yeah.
It really is. So
You've referred to this as Harvey's big night out.
Yeah.
The next sort of 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why is because it is a night.
Yeah, one night, yes.
And he's out. So it's...
Yeah, but he goes on a bit of a murderous rampage.
Yeah, and I did want to just write down, like, rampage, murder.
I really loved the sequence where he's out walking in the rain. Or maybe it wasn't raining, but it was in the night. He's walking and he's looking at himself in the glass on a shop window. And he's talking to himself. He's like, I don't know why this has happened. I didn't deserve this. I was a good person. And then his wounded side comes through and goes, no, I've done bad things or terrible things. Mm-hmm. And he hears someone being mugged in an alleyway, and he decides to intervene.
He decides to put justice.
Yes, so it's his own brand of justice, because I don't know if he knows this, but this mugger is a repeat offender. I don't think he ever would have come across Harvey Dent's desk. You know, I don't think Harvey Dent ever prosecuted him, because the guy probably would have recognised him even with his disfigured face. And the thing I find particularly interesting about this is that he's not obsessed with duality and chance. He makes a joke about flipping the coin. Heads, he'll let him live. Tails, he'll kill him. But it's a double-headed coin. The same. He makes a similar joke to Barbara Gordon in the first episode about, you know, heads, the guy gets 20 years to life. Tails, I'm asking for the death penalty. There's no way that he would kill that guy still, but he puts the fear of God into him. And the person that's being mugged, or was being mugged...
He does shoot him.
Oh, yeah. The person that was being mugged is like, no, you can't risk a person's life on a flip coin, which is something very similar to what Barbara said. And he says, yeah, but I can't exactly just let him go now, can I? And then he shoots him in the knee.
Yeah. This is the start of Harv's big night out.
Yeah.
Because what really shocked me is when he finds the gangster. I know I'm skipping ahead a bit. When he finds the gangster, and he kills him. And he kills him.
And the men that were with him. So he murders 3 people.
Yeah.
And I just want to rewind a little bit to how he finds what was his name? Tony...
with a Z.
With a Z, but not Zuko. It was like Zooty or something like that.
Zeti, no.
I'm gonna consult the spreadsheet. I'm gonna consult the spreadsheet.
Oh, I was gonna say stupid spreadsheet. It's not stupid.
It's not. It's an excellent spreadsheet.
It is a spreadsheet. Tony. I just don't like spreadsheets.
Tony Zito.
Tony
Zito, played by Vincent Piazza.
Piazza. That's a nice name.
Yeah, it's an Italian name. So Two-Face goes to one of Rupert Thorne's men that he knows would know where Zito's being hidden. And he meets him in a bar and wants the information. The guy is not playing ball, so Two-Face beats him up a little bit, or he roughs him up a little bit and frightens him. Guy gives over the information about, well, I know where his girlfriend is, why don't you go talk to her? So on his way out, in order to save face, this guy calls Two-Face a freak. And I just love the moment, that bit where he stops. He looks up, kind of rolls his eyes a little bit, he goes... And then it cuts to the outside of the bar and you can just hear violence and probably murder.
Yeah. And that's something it shocked me, because this is Harvey doing this. This isn't Big Ben Harv. This is Harvey doing this.
Yes.
And he's actually killing people. Yes, he thinks it's justified.
Yeah, he kills a lot of them.
But it's not justified. It's cold murder. Like,
well, his view now, and he says this from his experience of being a district attorney, is that there's no redemption for determined criminals. People like him don't deserve, like Zito, I should say, and Thorne, don't deserve second chances because they will never change. And he views them as being a cancer that he wants to cut out. However, when he goes and visits Zito's girlfriend and he asks her for the information, he does seem quite threatening, and it cuts away, you know, like he's going to harm her.
Oh, I quite liked that, because when you come back, you realize Batman asks her and realizes that she's going somewhere, like she's going to Gotham Airport. And it's because he wasn't actually menacing at all. He just gave her a lot of money.
Yeah. She's like, why would I tell you anything? He goes, I can think of a couple of reasons. And it fades to black. Yeah. But yeah, the couple of reasons are he's given her like thousands of dollars or something. Like, here you go.
I thought that was a nice little I don't know if it's a joke, or like if you would consider it a joke, or if it was just, it's a nice little bit of writing there.
Yeah, it was very good, very good.
But let's talk about, in this show, the actual murders.
Yes.
Because and again, I know it's my podcast, I can talk about whatever the hell I want to, but what's different between this show and the DCAU shows is that there's actual murder in this. There's no, oh my God, he got shot and he's in the hospital and he's going to get better. Mm-hmm. No, he got shot. You saw them get shot. You saw them get burned. He's not coming back.
But it's not gratuitous. It doesn't focus on the wounds. No. You don't really see people's burning bodies.
But you still feel that emotional thing about it.
I mean, personally, I didn't as much.
I did, because I'm a human.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. There's a very good. I liked the scene when Batman turns up at Zito's hideout, but Two-Face has already been there, and the place is on fire, and you can hear Zito screaming from the inside. Mm-hmm. And Batman's like, "Well, I'm too late." He doesn't even try to save him.
Yeah, because he knows he's too late.
Yeah. And Two-Face is sat in a car in the alleyway. He goes, "Oh my God, I killed them! I killed them all! Oh no! Yeah. What have I done?" And then Batman turns up and jumps on top of the car.
By the way, let's talk about that one scene in particular. What Batman could have done was followed him.
He could have
followed him and wait till he got to a stoplight or maybe his apartment.
He doesn't know.
No.
He doesn't know what he's going to do.
He's going to jump out of his car, jump onto Harvey's car, and then crash into other things.
I mean, he has just witnessed him murder some people and set fire to a building and endangered God knows how many other people. Yeah. So, for all he knows, Two-Face is going to go on a ram raiding spree, running over pedestrians and stuff. So he wants to bring an end to it now.
So what are your thoughts on this version of Two-Face?
I like him. Now, Two-Face is my favourite Batman villain, primarily.
That's why I ask.
Yeah, primarily because of his depiction in Batman the Animated Series. Now, this version is almost the opposite, because he is not defined by ill mental health to the same extent. Mm-hmm. He's not really a tragic figure. Everything that happened to him happened as a result of his choices. Mm-hmm. He backed out on that deal with the mob. He never should have made it in the first place. The fact that it doesn't excuse what they did to him, of course not. But he's not... He feels like he's on a righteous crusade of vengeance, and to a certain extent I agree with him. Maybe this makes me just sound really callous, but I'm not going to shed a single tear for any of those gangsters that he killed, because how many of them have callously ruined other people's lives and not lost a moment's sleep, And it is kind of funny how Zito is crying his eyes out after Two-Face pours whiskey all over him and sets a trail of it so that he can just light a match and burn him to death. Obviously, that's a terrible death, burning to death. The guards there got away light because Two-Face shot them and they died pretty much straight away.
But there was a reason he wanted that. He wanted him to feel that.
Well, yeah, because he burnt half his face off with acid. So he's basically purifying that guy with fire. That's one way of looking at it. But what I really liked about his dialogue is he's talking very casually and normally, saying, I understand that Rupert Thorne made you do it, but you still did it. You're the guy that did this to me. Mm-hmm. And my other personality doesn't want me to kill you, but I want to kill you. And I really like Diedrich Bader's performance as Two-Face.
Yes.
Because most people that play Two-Face, they always put on a voice like this, which is wonderful. But
he didn't do that.
Didn't. No. Two-Face's voice is Harvey Dent's voice. Mm-hmm. The softer personality has a slightly lighter, more worried voice. I can't believe I killed those people. What am I doing?
I cannot believe... In my heart of hearts, I cannot believe this. But I am finally going to say this is not... Diedrich Bader, this is my favorite work of his. Mm-hmm. It has surpassed the Drew Carey Show. No, I really love it. And it is because it's different. Yeah. And it's... Again, I'm going to say the R word again. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
And it's... I don't know. It does not bring me with joy. It does not fill me with joy, but it fills me with excitement for, I know there's only one episode left, which I have not seen yet. I'm going to watch that after we finish this. But it excites me for seasons to come. Mm-hmm. because I am looking forward to seeing some new characters, some old characters, and to see what their take is on this. Because if they can do this with Harvey, imagine what they could do with anyone else.
I mean, they've done it with pretty much all the villains.
Yeah.
They did it with Penguin. They've done it with Clayface.
It's been
Harley.
amazing.
Yeah, they've done a great job. They're absolutely fantastic. And that's kind of why I get a bit frustrated seeing comments from people that have never watched the show. They've just seen a screenshot or a little brief snippet in a trailer and gone, oh, this is woke garbage. Oh, they're going to go broke. And I'm not going to go on a big rant about this anymore because I know I already did that once.
My chair's squeaking, by the way. It's like,
yeah, it's fine.
Shut up. Don't call me woke. But please, call me woke. Call me PC. Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me with my middle name.
But the point is, they've not seen it. They don't know the execution. I think if they ever get over themselves and actually sit down and watch it, they will probably enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah,
anyway,
they're only disappointing themselves by. I bet you these people that are saying this won't even watch it.
Well, I doubt that many of them actually had any intention of ever watching it,
and that's a shame because it's a great. Just even if it was a standalone Batman thing, which it is a standalone Batman thing, but even if this is the first and only Batman thing you'll ever watch, it is fantastic. Yeah. And this is coming from somebody who loves the DCAU.
Yeah, me too.
And obviously this guy sitting right next to me is a huge fan of Batman.
I not to dwell on negativity, but someone left a comment on one of my things saying, a true fan of Batman would never accept these changes. And I nearly swore then. I'm like, you simpleton. Jesus Christ. How many times has the Penguins... how many different versions of the Penguin have there been? Mm-hmm. There's been the mutant sewer baby man.
Yeah.
There's been...
Like we said in the last...
The red-headed ninja penguin.
Of the podcast. Like, there's been so many. Even a robot.
Cockney penguin.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is... It's disappointing because they're not giving it a chance. And there's so many people out there that will give this a chance and will love it for so many reasons. They might not like it, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that watch it and don't like it, in my opinion, because it's that damn good. And I will tell you, there are 2 episodes I don't care for. Doesn't mean I don't like them. They're well written, well acted, everything. It's just I don't particularly like certain characters. I don't particularly like something like that. Doesn't mean I don't like the show. Mm-hmm. I think all of us have those episodes of our favorite TV shows or whatnot that we don't like. But I'm not going to criticize it because I couldn't do something that damn good. I'm not kidding. Like, what was it? The Gentleman Ghost and Nocturna. Mm-hmm. Great characters. They just didn't fill me with joy.
It's not to your taste.
Yeah, that. But that's a me thing, not a writer's thing or an actor's thing, because they did a damn good job. Mm-hmm. So these people that have only seen a screenshot need to shut up and watch the show on Amazon.co.uk or Amazon.com. That's Amazon.co.uk. No, just kidding. We're not affiliated with Amazon, but I really think that they've done a brilliant job, and we are only on the 9th episode.
Yeah.
Or Luke's seen the entire thing, and I can't wait for the 2nd season. I am ready. I am one of those. I'm a what do they call it now? Stan. I will be writing to them and be like, hey, this is Stan here. Please.
Hey, Bruce Timm, it's me, your biggest fan.
Yeah. Hey, it's me. By the way, Bruce Timm, if you're looking for any voice actress for maybe extra 3, I'm your gal.
Give us your best Harvey Dent mocking crowd voice. Go.
Look at him. Oh my God. Ew. See?
What a monster. Oh, what's up with his face?
I creeped myself out with that. Ew, and I feel really tingles in my ear that aren't great.
Anyway, should we continue with talking about Harvey Dent's big night out?
Yeah.
So obviously he gets the information he wants about, and he said ziti then.
That's a pasta.
I know. That's why I keep saying it, because I'm clearly some sort of bigot.
I love
Zito.
Because when you said ziti for the first time, the first thing that came through my mind is, I love that pasta. Like, why are we talking about pasta?
Anyway, he gets the information he wants from... I need to ziti again. Zito.
Yeah, Zito.
And begins his revenge against Rupert Thorne. Now, this is a really cool action sequence. Two-Face pretty much kills 2 people at a time each time, and he kills a lot of people. He kills 2 guys in a car. He shoots 2 guys in that are trying to shield Thorne. He pushes a piano on top of 2 others,
and then he kills a guy, but the guy kills a statue. So that's 2.
he beats the guy up, picks him up, throws him over the ledge, and he lands on top of Thorne's statue and shatters it.
And then he's almost kills 2 more people because the son and Thorne are there.
Did you catch Rupert Thorne's son's name?
Nah.
Matthew Thorne. Do you know who Matthew Thorne was in Batman the Animated Series?
I can't remember.
He was Rupert Thorne's brother, the crime doctor.
Do you know that was 32 years ago?
Yes.
How do you expect me to remember all of these things?
Oh my God, it was 32 years ago. But anyway, it's really cool. And Batman arrives in a timely manner to save Matthew and Rupert. And in the scuffle, both of the Thorns run away, and Two-Face starts shouting at Batman like, "Why did you stop me? Why did you? Oh my God, you stopped me. Oh, thank you, you stopped me."
This is when he starts telling Batman that he needs help.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut it short here because one of my favorite parts of this episode comes up next. And that, Barbs shows up when she's needed the most. And you know what? Barbs shows up when she needs to show up.
Yeah.
And it shows that she's a truly caring person, but she's a friend. And
she can be, yeah.
She understands that Harvey is going through it, and she believes in redemption.
Yeah, she is the most compassionate person in this series. She sees the potential in everyone. There was an episode earlier on where she got someone a reduced sentence. They were guilty of the crime, but she got them a reduced sentence that basically meant they could go free, I think, for time served. And her father was very mad at her, saying, you know, those cops may have made mistakes with the case, but they did the right thing by arresting him. And she's like, well, you know, he's a victim of the system, etc., etc. And she shows this conviction that she has throughout the series, and applies the same thing to Harvey Dent, even though she personally doesn't like him. She feels like he deserves to be defended and to get his day in court.
Yeah, because she is the hero. I believe that she is one of the heroes. It's not just Batman. What is that saying? Not all heroes wear capes. And she is truly. Renee and Barbara are truly heroes that don't don capes. Unless you call that massive jacket a cape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to end this episode here because I want to watch the last episode now.
Yeah.
Is it a good one?
It's excellent. Spoilers. No need to listen to the next episode. It's perfect.
No. No. We will catch you, hopefully, in a few moments when this auto plays to episode 10, the final episode of season 1 of Caped Crusader.
All right.
I love you guys. Have a great day.